What if belonging meant simply being together? Sun on skin, breeze in grass. World Naturist Day, a non-sexual celebration of nature and acceptance. How does it feel? To feel the first light of dawn on your skin, not through a window, but as a living part of the world around you. Imagine a day where trust is the only garment required. People from all walks of life gather, not in defiance, but in quiet celebration of their shared humanity. This is not a dream, but a real and touching event that unfolds across our planet. It is a day that invites a gentle curiosity, asking us to look again at ourselves and each other with fresh, kind eyes, and to consider what it truly means to be free. Across the globe, as the sun rises, small gatherings begin. On windswept coastlines, in secluded forests, in sun-drenched parks, people arrive, not with fanfare, but with a sense of peace and purpose. They are here for World Naturist Day, an occasion that quietly challenges our modern assumptions about the human form. The air is filled not with noise, but with the soft sounds of nature and the gentle hum of human connection. World Naturist Day, celebrated on the first Sunday of June in the Northern Hemisphere and in December in the South, is a global observance dedicated to promoting social nudity and a deeper connection with nature. It is a day when naturist and nudist communities around the world open their doors and their hearts, inviting the public to experience a different way of being. People gather in designated spaces, from serene beaches, private resorts, quiet parks, community centers, to share in activities that celebrate life in its most elemental form. The day's events are thoughtfully curated to foster a sense of community and shared joy, free from the pressures of everyday life. The activities are as varied as the people who attend. You might see a group practicing yoga together as the morning sun warms their skin, their movements synchronized in a silent tribute to health and mindfulness. Elsewhere, families might be enjoying a picnic, their laughter echoing through the trees as children play freely and safely. There are often organized walks through beautiful natural landscapes, volleyball games on sandy shores, and communal meals where strangers become friends. The central theme connecting all these events is not the absence of clothing, but the presence of something far more significant, a profound and unspoken respect for one another and for the environment they share. It is essential to understand that this day is fundamentally non-sexual in its nature and intent. The practice of living with little or no clothing is not a modern invention, it is an echo from the deepest parts of our human history. In the warm cradles of civilization, ancestors lived in harmony with their environment, their bodies exposed to the elements. Clothing, when it existed, was minimal and purely functional, a response to climate, rather than a dictate of modesty. The human body was an unremarkable part of the natural world, like a deer in the forest, like a bird in the sky. This acceptance appears in cultural touchstones of great civilizations. Ancient Greece, birthplace of Western philosophy and democracy. Greek athletes trained and competed nude at the Olympic Games. This reflected an aesthetic and philosophical ideal celebrating the human form. Roman Empire, grand bathhouses where citizens bathed together. Communal bathing fostered social cohesion, temporarily erased rank and wealth. The formal beginnings of modern naturism can be traced to late 19th and early 20th century Germany. This movement was known as Freikörperkultur, or free body culture. It was a response to rapid industrialization and urbanization that was changing society. People felt disconnected from nature, and there was a growing concern about public health. Visionaries and reformers proposed that exposure to nature could heal body and soul, sun, air, water. They advocated a return to a simpler, healthier lifestyle. And social nudity was a central pillar of that philosophy. After the profound trauma and devastation of the First World War, the desire for healing intensified across Europe. People longed for peace, for simple joys, and to reconnect with life. The Naturist movement offered a powerful vision of that renewal. It was seen as a way to cast off rigid, militaristic conventions and to embrace a future built on freedom, health, and pacifism. Naturist clubs and societies began to form. They created private sanctuaries where members could practice in safety and support. The movement grew for a multitude of reasons. For some, it was about physical health, the benefits of sunbathing and fresh air. For others, it was social and psychological rebellion against repressive moral codes. They argued the shame associated with the body was unnatural and harmful. Today, the practice of naturism is a vibrant and diverse global phenomenon, woven into the cultural fabric of dozens of countries. While the core principles of respect, health, and connection to nature remain universal, the way they are expressed varies wonderfully from place to place. France, Spain, Croatia. Vast stretches of coastline are officially designated clothing optional, and large family-oriented naturist resorts are mainstream summer holiday destinations. Here, naturism is accepted and integrated, attracting millions each year to sunny shores and welcoming communities. Elsewhere, expressions are more subtle and community-focused. United States, Canada. Private clubs, landed resorts. They serve as safe havens for members. But there's also a growing network of public clothing optional beaches, often won through years of local activism. Brazil, Uruguay. Famous naturist beaches draw locals and international visitors. Each place has its own atmosphere, festive and social or quiet and contemplative. The reasons that draw individuals to naturism are often deeply personal and transformative. For many, the journey begins as a quest for self-acceptance. In a world saturated with idealized and digitally altered images of the human body, it is easy to feel that our own bodies are somehow flawed or inadequate. The constant pressure to conform to a narrow standard of beauty can be a heavy burden, leading to anxiety, leading to shame, leading to a sense of alienation from our own physical selves. Naturist environments offer a powerful and healing antidote to this pressure by presenting a simple, undeniable truth that real human bodies come in an infinite variety of shapes, sizes, colors, ages. Stepping into a safe and respectful naturist space for the first time can be a profound experience. The initial apprehension quickly gives way to a sense of relief, and then often a quiet joy. Seeing real, unadorned bodies all around, scars, wrinkles, unique contours, can fundamentally reframe one's own self-perception. The feeling of being not good enough begins to dissolve in an atmosphere of unconditional acceptance. People often report that this experience helps them to develop a kinder, more compassionate relationship with their own bodies, letting go of long-held insecurities, learning to appreciate their physical form for its strength and resilience, rather than its appearance. There is also a powerful social dimension to this experience. World Naturist Day mirrors this diversity. Some places host large-scale festivals, live music, art installations, body painting, joyful, thousand-strong celebrations. Other regions mark the day quietly, guided hikes, silent beach meditations, shared meals. Regardless of scale, the goal is the same, a temporary zone of absolute trust where people feel safe to be authentic. A shared set of simple, powerful rules holds this tapestry together. Unwavering respect for others. Photography restricted, staring discouraged, overt sexual behavior forbidden. These rules create freedom, not limit it. They let genuine connection and self-acceptance flourish. It's a social experiment. Clear boundaries plus shared intentions equals profound peace and mutual respect. Yeah, it's, quite something. Organizers of World Naturist Day events are deeply committed to creating safe, respectful, and family-friendly environments. Clear codes of conduct are established and enforced, ensuring that all participants feel secure and comfortable. Looking toward the future, World Naturist Day represents a hopeful dawn, a gentle invitation to the world to reconsider its relationship with the human body. Nature. Trust. This is not a call for a world without clothes, but a suggestion that a world with more acceptance, kindness, less shame is possible. The day serves as a beautiful, fleeting glimpse of that possibility. As awareness of its gentle philosophy grows, we may see its influence ripple outwards in quiet and meaningful ways. The future of this day will depend on the continued care and dedication of its organizers to maintain the safe, respectful, non-sexual ethos that is its heart. In the years to come, we might see this observance blossom in new and unexpected places. Small, community-led events may begin to appear in cities that have never hosted one before, started by individuals inspired by its message of peace and acceptance. The artistic community may find new inspiration, creating films, photography, art that capture the quiet dignity and gentle joy of these gatherings. In the fields of psychology and wellness, researchers may take a closer look at the measurable benefits of naturism for mental health, body image, social connection. The key to this gentle expansion will always be a dialogue built on respect. Successful events are those where organizers work hand in hand with local communities and authorities, communicating their intentions, clearly addressing any concerns with patience and transparency. The goal is not to shock or to provoke, but to share a philosophy of life in a way that feels inclusive and safe for everyone. By continuing to emphasize the principles of consent, safety, respect for all, the movement can build bridges of understanding. Ultimately, World Naturist Day is a story of hope. It is a story about people choosing to trust one another, choosing to be vulnerable, and in doing so, discovering a profound sense of freedom and connection. It reminds us that beneath all the labels and layers we wear, we are all part of the same human family, sharing the same beautiful and fragile planet. It does not demand that we join, only that we wonder.